So for us, when we're trying to reach out to Gen Z audiences and younger audiences, we're focusing on the kinds of topics that those audiences are interested in. And I think it's obvious to assume that those are kind of like entertainment, fun topics, but there's a huge audience of young people that are also looking for informative, engaging, geopolitical, deep politics, and it's about how you approach that. And for us, that's framing those stories, those important global topics, in a way that's approachable, so it doesn't involve language that's really hard to understand, requires a bunch of old knowledge, and is also kind of fun and interesting. And I think for us, that means our people hosting videos are younger, they represent the audience better. The way they talk is more natural and more authentic, and kind of building content that fits on the platform. We try and be native on any platform that we're working on, and we try and make sure that our videos feel like the kinds of things that people on those platforms, the real creators, are making, rather than like just a clip of the news. We try and make sure that we are understandable, we're approachable, and we feel native to the platform where we're living. I think YouTube is in probably the best place it's been in a while. I think there's obviously concern with a lot of platforms with social media that these kinds of things go through cycles. You see even platforms like TikTok that spikes during the pandemic and are still massively popular, but there is a shift in who's watching and what they're watching. I think YouTube is among the most stable of all of those kinds of platforms because it is less of a social media platform and more of just a resource. It kind of acts as a streaming service, as an equivalent to Netflix or TV. And I think YouTube is in a really good place, not only from an audience perspective, that there's lots of people still watching and really engaging, but also that the monetization and the economy of YouTube is so much more developed than TikTok, than Instagram, than other platforms. They're working out how their creator funds and their revenue sharing is going to work, but these platforms are still only now beginning to work on it, whereas YouTube has been around for a very long time, and they've really mastered how the economics of the platform work. And I think that's ultimately why when you have creators on other platforms like TikTok, like Instagram, a lot of the time they have ambitions to work on YouTube too. They see YouTube as like an end goal because it is the most stable and the most economically viable platform.